Hey, good morning, Patriots. It's another great day in the USA. Time to start, doing stuff. You can't lay around eating bonbons all day, right? I think it's important that we recognize, hey, there's Nile Farage's number. I thought I stuck that somewhere. Anyway, it's good to have you all here this morning. We're going to have a fun and informative show. We always do. Our job is to entertain, inform, and educate. Not necessarily in that order. As a matter of fact, it's educate, inform. Oh, well, don't worry about it. Someone who does worry about it, because he organizes things, is Chris Cordani. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. Yes, this is a day. Well, I'm not worried about anything. What me worry? I worry as much as Alfred E. Newman.
Yeah. I was looking for my Sea of Mud sticker because I'm wearing a Sea of Mud T-shirt this morning. Always check them out. Sea of Mud.
Wasn't that covered by the Honey Drippers?
That's right. They did several songs back in the 90s, I think, So,
that's a super group. People don't realize that was actually a super group. It had obviously Robert Plant, Brian Setzer. You had also, what's his name? Paul Schaefer.
The Honey Drippers, that's right.
That's right. I'm going to start bringing the keyboard in, by the way, and I have to hook things up a little bit, but you need a keyboard intro, Tony.
Well, I still think we're putting people to sleep with the intro we have, just saying, but we should talk to Cherie.
Tony. But
so,
by the way, let's start this one up. Let's start this up, Tony, because it is Trixie's birthday today. So happy birthday, Trixie.
Oh, happy birthday, Trixie. Wow, I had no idea. What is she legal to drink now?
I think she is, although apparently we'll see what happened last week.
She can finally go out and get a beer legally. That's good.
What you talking about?
Good for her. Yeah.
Anyway, happy birthday, Trixie. Trixie.
Happy birthday.
Hope you enjoy it.
That's good.
As a present, we won't sing.
Yeah. No, that's right. We won't. That's a good present. Maybe we'll get Doc Severinsen to come on and do a trumpet solo at some point. He's still alive, kicking at 90 something. So
yeah.
So you threw me off track a little bit. What was I going to say? We're doing something with my X account. If you don't follow me, go over to X. I'll put it in the chat again today. We're trying to get, I've already got 130,000 followers, but we want to have people who actually interact with us, right, Chris? We want to be more interactive.
Yes. So this is
fun. More fun.
Yes.
So tomorrow we're doing a special event. Chris is actually helping me do it because I'm intellectually, I'm like a Democrat when it comes to technology. I'm kind of dim, right? Right, Chris? Is that true?
I think you're fine. It's just everybody needs a resident nerd every once in a while. That's all.
That's true. Yeah. And not the resident nerd that goes off and kills people, like in the Umbrella Corporation in that franchise. Just saying.
Right. Not anymore. Right. Yeah, not anymore.
We don't want people going off and creating viruses which kill half the world. So that's not a good thing. Well, maybe it would be a good thing. I don't know. I don't want to get into that debate this morning. So.
Well, Tony, you're going to release this more on your X page tomorrow. Everybody can see it.
I am.
And the best thing about this project, I would say, this is a new project. He's going to talk more about it tomorrow night, but we get the excuse to use this cool picture of you, as you can see.
That's right. We do.
Any excuse to use that in anything is
my Jack Bauer in London picture, which is actually in London. And we were filming, Jack Bauer stuff. We were doing a pilot for a travel channel show that they didn't pick up, just saying, called Spy's Eye. And it's still out there. You guys can go check. As a matter of fact, I forgot, Chris, we should put that as part of the internal stuff of what we have. We're going to have some good videos of me doing cool stuff, right, Chris? I mean, let's let the cat out of the bag. I'll be doing cool stuff.
Right. Tony's getting an OnlyFans.
That's the secret.
Right.
That's right. So
OnlyFans.
So yeah, that's right. That's right. And I'm one. No. I'm just kidding. So it'll be fun, and we'll have fun, and we're going to have a lot of stuff going on. And if you think we have fun here, which we do, the other one's even going to be more interactive in some ways. So we'll see, because we're going to take suggestions and all that. So we'll see how it goes, but I think it'll be fun.
and people have a chance to interact directly with you, ask you direct
Yeah.
questions. That's going to be very important because you can't
Yeah.
always do that here, and we can't get to everybody's questions on the on the live chat here. We only have a
We
limited
can't.
time.
Yeah. So, excuse me, I'll be taking a lot more time and doing more things. And we're going to have some interesting guests. As a matter of fact, the first month is going to be focused on 9/11. And I've got, did I say Catherine Herridge is going to be one of my first guests? Catherine has agreed to come on. So
That's gonna be
Catherine Herridge, Brian Huddy. How do I say Brian Huddy? John Huddy. John Huddy. Where am I getting Brian from? John Huddy, my Newsmax colleague, who was actually sent to Ground Zero the day of the attack. So John actually reported from, the actual site of the attack. And then we're going to have our friend, the architects for 9/11 Truth, Richard Gage. Although he doesn't know it yet, I haven't talked to him, but I'm sure he'll come on.
Yeah, I actually have
And
a
then,
9/11 story.
Kurt Weldon, Congressman Kurt Weldon. So,
Yep.
yeah, well, you can use it now or 9/11.
Yeah, I actually have a 9/11 story. I could probably give it to you today. It's not a big story for me, but I was the program station manager of a small station, a local station here in Orange County, and when I was doing the traffic report, or I was getting the traffic report ready and some of the news reports ready for the news person to help them out, because we had a new, relatively new female anchor. I was running for office at the time, so I could not be on the air. So what happened was, get this news report that says a plane crashed into the Twin Towers, and I ran it right to the newsroom. And then there's another one that said another plane crashed into the two towers. So I stopped, ran that back, then ran them both to the newsroom. And all of a sudden, the anchor, the female, her name's Allison. She ran out and cried. Just ran out and cried and left the studio. I had to jump in and do the newscast as an emergency. Then I went outside and she's really upset, but she felt relieved. And she said, "Oh my God, I nagged my husband to get to the train on time today. I was screaming at him this morning, but he still came late. The good thing is he came late and he did not make it to the towers because he worked there, and he did not make it when the planes hit. So he was not there because he missed his regular train." And she was yelling at him for that. And it winds up that she was really relieved, and that was pretty sad. So we spent the whole. I gave her the day off, obviously, to go down and take care of her husband, or when he came back.
Yeah.
But we were doing the newscast all day. Yes, it was rather interesting. But it was a horrible thing that happened, and there was so many.
Yeah,
there were a lot of close calls, too.
Yeah. Well, I was less than 2 miles from the Pentagon when it happened, and I was supposed to be in the Pentagon, but we'll save that for the special, right? We're going to do the special, and I've got to do a tease tomorrow night, right? Tomorrow night's the tease, so
right. And
we're doing. It's not a strip tease. Don't get your hopes up. No clothes are going to come off, right?
Now I understand Al Qaeda headquarters is really mad because I uncovered an email from this bin Laden. Apparently, I don't remember what the O stands for, but it says bin Laden at AOL.com. It was his email address, and he said, "You idiots, you missed Tony. We have to try again next time."
That was John O'Brennan.
What was the address?
They're kind of the same, right? Al Qaeda, CIA. I don't know. They're kind of the same thing.
What was it? J Podesta at MySpace?
So, yeah. I wonder what bin Laden's MySpace was like. Did he have a lot of camel music?
He probably listened to Debbie Boone and the Carpenters a lot. Maybe, I don't know.
You light up my life. That could be.
Anyway,
that's a good theme for people who blow things up. You light up my life. That's true.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Or Disco Inferno. Right. Oh, there we go.
Disco Inferno. That's another good one. Yeah, we were just going back and forth this morning. I was going to put it on my Facebook and I didn't. One of the anniversaries of the great B-52s. Do you know those folks at all? I know we're going some behind the scenes stuff here, but do you know those folks at all? Any of the B-52s? Because I don't care what their politics are. They're just kind of cool, you know?
Oh, they're very liberal. That's fine. I get that because a lot of people in the group are.
Well, so are a lot of our friends are liberal.
But they're liberal. I think they're more default liberals because they were more gay rights liberals than anything else. I doubt you're going to find them marching pro-Palestinian.
I'm seeing a lot of gays who were liberals and not liberals anymore, but they're still gay. Not that I know.
A lot of them try to have to still be at the cool kids table, if you will, in the music and Hollywood world. I have interviewed Fred Schneider once, who is a brilliant man. He's a brilliant guy.
He is.
I mean, he's funny, but he's brilliant. And I had the honor of having Cindy Wilson, the blonde, on my show. We talked on the Revenge of the '80s show. We talked about her album Corporeal, which, by the way, is good listening. If you can get a chance, it's a 2017 album. It's called Corporeal by Cindy Wilson, and it does not sound like the B-52s. It's really her, and she's a great singer. She has a whole new side to her.
What's the name of it again? I'm going to write that down. Corporeal.
Corporeal. Let's see if I can pull that up. Oh boy, look at that. How about that?
I do that stuff sometimes too.
Live television. I'm a clumsy ox. My old pal.
Did you see? No. Did you see?
Clumsy ox.
Did you see? I was on live main channel, primetime news, and my camera fell off my dash, and that was embarrassing. I was on with Greg Kelly on Greg Kelly's show. That happened a couple nights ago. So just saying.
Oh, I mean,
that's embarrassing. It's on my Facebook. You can see it. It's like it falls off, and I don't even know why. It was weird.
I actually may have made a mistake. The album is called Sunrise. This is the first single. Real. So this is what happens. Here's the Sunrise EP. I'm going to pull it up here on Bandcamp, which is where a lot of the artists can get money a little bit more directly. Bandcamp right here. Check it out. It's a really good album. The EP, it's an EP called Sunrise, and Corporeal was the lead single. Good song.
Very cool.
Yeah, good song, good music, and you'll hear a new side to her. It's not the B-52s you'd expect. Kate Pearson's solo efforts were more like the B-52s. And of course, who can forget Fred Schneider and the Shake Society?
Yeah, Fred was cool.
Yes.
Fred was cool. I would always like to talk to those folks because they seem chill. You know, now, by the way, every time you've introduced me to your liberal friends, I've always gotten along with them, right?
Right.
By
the way, I do a really good Fred Schneider voice.
Knock yourself out.
Oh, come on. Do I have to? All right, I'll do it. All right. Well, you can see a faded sign on the side of the road that says 15 miles. That's a good one. I can do that.
That's good. That's good.
It was that Family Guy
episode. Roof. Rusted.
Oh, yeah. That was a rock lobster.
You know, I used to always wonder what she was saying. Did you know that I could not figure out for years what she was saying? Tin roof. Rusted.
That's right.
You know,
I believe the video was done.
I finally figured it out. I got told one of the two.
The video was done in Woodstock, if I remember correctly. There's some great stuff. It was the B-52s had great stuff over the years. I guess some of my favorites include let's see. Well, again, I always like Fred Schneider's solo album. They have a good song called "Summer in Hell," and "Monster," of course. I've seen them live at least 4 times. And
I like Monster. That's a great song. A great video, too.
Yes. We can't play that here, though.
No, but we could talk about Spanky Banana, which is still kind of like that. So anyway, but I digress. But by the way, speaking of Love Shack, the first lyric of that song is about driving on the Atlanta highway. You know, do you know where I was? Do you know where I was driving the moment I heard that song for the first time?
The Atlanta highway.
Exactly. I was heading from Atlanta over to do some stuff in Alabama, clandestine stuff. Shh, don't tell anybody. And it was kind of funny. It's like, wow, that's interesting. Well, synchronicity, right?
So I suppose if you were going to be driving, if we were going to be talking about America instead of the B-52s, if you drove the Ventura Highway, am I correct?
Ventura Highway. I've been on that highway too.
That's right.
On a horse with no name.
You know, Billy Mooney was in that band for a little while.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You know, his birthday was yesterday, I think. They were posting stuff, I think. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you know who else's birthday it was this week? It was Jane Merrow from The Prisoner, and we had the honor and privilege of
We need to have her back on. Yeah, because she was doing a thing on AI. That's relevant to what we're going through right now.
We should do that. And by the way, she has a movie coming out. I believe it's called Andy, about an AI. So that's something. So it was Jane
Yeah.
Mara's birthday. Check it out. It's still on YouTube, The Outhouse Lounge. It was me, you, Doomcock, and her. We're going to do more.
Yeah.
And I
We
will
have-
resurrect the
We
show.
have
I promise.
Doomcock, Duke, and yeah, I'm wanting to do some stuff with Doomcock again too, the future ruler of Earth.
Well, I have a couple things
Good
for
to
you,
stay on his
Tony.
good side.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to bring in our guest, Mike McCormick, because I'm going to get
Hey,
both of your
Already.
opinions
Good
on
morning,
this.
Mike.
Yes.
Good morning, gentlemen. What's happening? Waking
My
up,
God.
Patriots?
We weren't even done with our morning spiel, and here you are.
Well, I brought him in because I wanted to include him in this part of the morning spiel, Tony.
That's good. Yeah. So be sure and pick up his earlier book, The Case to Impeach and Imprison Joe Biden. And I keep telling people back here in the back, right here, it's like, it smells like Joe Biden's Depends. Oh.
We put that in special. We had a special delivery for that one. Amazon did us a favor on that one.
All right, so welcome back. Everybody was looking forward to having you. We were talking about yesterday in the chat. So, Mike, what is I maybe don't give away any secrets. What is Joe Biden doing these days to keep busy? Is he like running around preschools trying to get little girls or something? I don't know.
I think he's desperately trying to line up speaking arrangements, and no one wants him. He's probably sitting on his back porch in Delaware. Every once in a while, he wanders out
In
there
his underwear,
takes a jump into his lake, and then swims, and then gets back and checks his mail, and there's nothing there.
So, by the way, that kind of rhymes. In his underwear, and his porch in Delaware, in his underwear, and a potato. There he is. Here's Joe, the new Joe.
Yeah.
All right. I want to throw this at both of you here because there was a viral video that I was contemplating playing earlier in the week, but I haven't. Now it's become a bigger story for reasons that are going to make your blood boil. And while people are telling us, well, it's happening in the UK, it's not happening here. Trust me, watch what happens in the UK, because leftists in this country, when they regain power, the UK, what's happening now is a model for what they want to happen to us here.
Oh yeah.
Right.
By now, you've seen this viral video of the girl who's defending her sister, a 14-year-old girl who defends her sister, who is 12, by the way, of a migrant who is trying to solicit her for, well, let's say ungood things, if you will.
Yeah.
And
Joe Biden things.
Yep, there's
Joe
some
Biden.
cursing here. Right, there's some cursing here, but I'm going to play it right now. I want to get your thoughts on this.
You don't dare!
Yes, you have a knife.
You don't! Hey, I'm fucking broken! You're fucking bad against
Why are you
me.
fucking with us?
These are fucking kid bashers!
Show the knife. Show the knife.
Get
Show
the
the
fuck
knife.
away from her!
Show the knife. Show the knife.
Don't touch her!
That's
Fuck me,
it. That's
you're
it.
over
Good for her.
Right, exactly.
Show the knife. That's it.
Don't fucking touch my sister! She ain't fucking well!
12.
Where's her fucking touching me? She has fucking well, but you just battered me, mate! Bring my fucking touching me!
Yeah. Show the knife.
All right. This disgusting savage tries to solicit or tries to get himself into a 12-year-old girl, if you will. And his 14-year-old sister protects her. And there are a lot of questions to this. I'm going to get to those. But I did a Google search the next day, or yesterday actually, just to double check on the story. And I'm reading them. And it says 14-year-old girl arrested for carrying a weapon. All right. And for brandishing a weapon. And I'm reading some of these stories. It happened in Dundee, Scotland. And a lot of them, the ones based in Britain, described her holding a knife, but never why. Did not even say that the migrant was trying to hit on or trying to attack the 12-year-old sister. Not even about defending the sister. She got arrested. Yeah, it wasn't the dirty pedophile. It was her who got arrested by police for having a weapon.
And he's the guy with the video.
Right.
He's the guy videoing the whole thing.
Oh, by the way, perfect English.
Yeah.
Show me the knife. Show me the knife.
Right.
Show me the knife. And guess what? When the police talked to him, guess who couldn't speak English anymore?
Oh, wow. Yeah. I've seen the reporting on it, and tragic. Good for her. Good for the little girl.
This is
She's
the America.
Double-fisted, man. And don't mess with her.
This is the America.
She wasn't backing down. She came back at the guy, and the guy kind of backed away. Good for her.
Well, this is the America the liberals want here. The left wants right now. This is the Zoram Namdami America.
My
Well, it's
wife
interesting
is
because
My wife is English. I got a little bit of background in the English culture. Yeah, very leftist leaning country now. And
Well, Mike, let's talk about that for a second, because why is it left to little girls to defend the honor of the British Empire? Because this is
defend their kids, defend their little
bad.
sister. Because the police in vast areas of Britain turned basically law and order over to the migrant gangs that were doing these terrible activities with young women, raping, grooming. Rotterdam was the scene of the worst of it, and that was 20 years ago. And it's just sort of an ongoing problem. Now they're starting to stand up to it, starting to wake up to it, but they continue to import all these migrants into the country. A lot of it started around when they joined the EU, and they started bringing in workers to work from all across the EU, and then they did Brexit because the factory workers and the regular people workers said, we don't want any more of this. That was 2016. That was right before Trump came on and did his upset. So the whole sort of globalist thing got a big kick in the butt from Brexit in England and Trump here in America. And so then what happened? They started importing all these refugees, migrants, with the help of the Pope and the Catholic Church through Europe. They've infested Spain. They've infested England. They've infested France. And these kids are paying the price. And the government is okay with it.
But
and
how
here's the
is
other
it?
question. Here's the other question,
ahead.
both of you. Why? How did Britain? Excuse me. Why doesn't anybody ask the question? Why do 14-year-old girls find it's necessary to be carrying weapons around now? Well, it's because of what the nation did to itself. They're bringing these unvetted savages from around the world. I'm sorry, that's what it is. I'm not saying everybody from a third world country is a savage, but you bring the third world in, you turn into that. This is the feminists here screech about rape culture. Well, you're bringing people from a real rape culture here. People who think nothing of taking 12-year-old girls, 11-year-old girls into an alley and having their way with them. You bring this kind of thing in. Yeah, these young girls have to bring weapons now.
Let's talk about how the very beginning and leader of a certain religion was a pedophile and actually married a girl at 9. Mike, am I correct on this? He married a girl at 9 and consummated the wedding at 11, I think. Muhammad.
I've seen that. I don't know for certain. I've never.
Oh no, it's in the Quran.
History,
it's
right?
in the Quran. I believe it's in the Quran.
Yeah, people discuss that often as being part of the Quran. Like,
just saying. So if you got to, monkey see, monkey do.
Right.
Just saying. So I have dear friends, Mike, and I've mentioned this on the show, and I no disrespect to my Islamic friends. I am very close friends with Mohammed Abbasi. Mohammed runs the oldest Muslim organization in England, which is essentially trying to integrate the best elements of Islam into British society. I work with them, the Association of British Muslims. Notice that's British before Muslim. See that? Did you notice that? Association of British Muslims, not the other way around. And by the way, they're hated by the other Muslims because they're reasonable.
Right.
Who would have thought? I know they don't believe in beheading people, so that makes them like, oh, we don't want to talk to you. Jeez.
Well, that makes them infidels. There we go. It makes them just as bad as everybody else, apparently.
Yeah.
Now, here's something as far as Britain's concerned. I want to take this back to America because there's news out of Jackson Hole. But I'm finding out that having his testicles reimplanted onto him, Nigel Farage has finally, once again, after gaining a little bit of power, spoke out about immigration here and says this has to stop.
I know. And by the way, I wasn't joking. I found his phone number and everything on my thing here just now. I got ahead.
Was it 867-5309?
That's right. Yeah.
All right. I did that to Jenny this week.
That's right. So anyway, his real name is Jenny. Did you know that? No, I'm just a joke. It's a joke.
No, it was for the last 6-7 months, I guess. or Nancy,
Yeah.
as Frank Barone would
Yeah,
say.
Britain has a long road back from, frankly, I think part of it, the answer goes into the sort of the monarchist leanings of the Freemason movement. And I think they may have infiltrated into MI6 in the pre-World War II, and then in the immediate aftermath of World War II. And they may have been a big reason for sort of the liberalization of culture. And that liberalization of culture has sort of gone up the flagpole now. I mean, they just had a huge, I was watching a lot of activity on the internet on X the other day. They were putting flags up all around Britain, patriotic flags, and they're getting pulled down, like by the local council people. So it's like there's a patriotic fervor that's building, and yet the government is trying to suppress it. And, they've done some free speech suppression. Nigel Farage is speaking out about that and standing up to it. He got debanked, and he stood up to the bank that debanked him. So he's a guy who's really standing up for himself. The British, it's a deferential society. They have a king. They have a monarchy. They're not like us. And so they kind of have this deferential way of being not confrontational. We come here, people come here to America, and they learn how to live with each other and get after each other and demand what they need to demand. It's, you look at the way Donald Trump runs the White House now, you're seeing America in action. And British are different than that.
Well, let's hit that a little bit, because I know I get Donald Trump. I do. It's like he's not always right, but he's got two things in mind always: what will benefit the American people, and how do we get it done? That's it. Let's do it. And he's surrounded himself. And I don't know if you took the time, because I was forced to by Newsmax, to watch the cabinet meeting yesterday. And and it was long, but it's interesting because so much of what he highlights is what the F are you doing, and how quick can you do it? That's it.
Right.
Like, what are you doing? And so that's refreshing. It's not about how many memos can you write, how many actions can you pass, which is a typical lawyer thing. You know, Mike, you and I spent years in DC, and typically politicians and lawyers like doing two things: writing bullshit and passing it off to someone else and saying, "Oh, I'm done." It's like, okay,
right?
Yeah,
I mean, I
that's
used to go
work.
in as a stenographer. I used to go into those cabinet meetings for Bush, for Obama, and Trump started doing these things where it's like a episode of the Apprentice. He's like,
exactly.
It was, and you're like, what did you do this week? Oh, I did this. And it was really interesting. There was some really important information that came out of that meeting. Yeah. And, in the past, what we would do with Bush was, it was a 4-minute speech. We'd go in, he'd read something off a bunch of cards. There may be a question or two from the press pool. You'd run out and there'd be a report. They did their cabinet meeting, and no one knew what they met about. No one knew, it would sort of give a headline answer. Oh, we talked about the war in Iraq, and we talked about, building up our infrastructure, blah, 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 blah. And that was it, 4 minutes. And that was what America was supposed to digest as a direction of the cabinet. And Obama never ran the cabinet hardly. And so, it was very different. With Trump in there, what you see is what you get. I mean, as a stenographer, I used to go into those cabinet meetings. It's a lot easier to do a 4-minute Bush quickie than a 2-hour, 3-hour. Let's take a tour around the cabinet, man. They got to do a transcript of that entire thing. Everybody speaks. That's pretty heavy.
Anything like a Clinton quickie?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, one involves cigars though, and one didn't. Just saying.
Yeah, right.
Well, here's a little scene here's another little scene out of Britain, guys, that I think you guys might want to take a look at. This is what's happening, and again, we see a little bit of this in America, like people tearing down the Trump signs, and it's going to be about the flag pretty soon.
Right.
And just watch, because this is what the left wants here.
You want to be showing around to everyone? Sorry, I'm not laughing at you, but you're worried about the English flag in the English country garden.
Yeah, it's offensive.
Our flag can be offensive in England.
Yeah, there's plenty of people in this neighbourhood who would take offence to that just being up right now.
Are you having a laugh or something? Where do you live?
Seriously,
Where do you live?
I'm from England, man. But
There you go. There's your flag.
No, seriously, that's offensive. It's not the 1950s anymore, mate. We can't be having the England flag.
Yeah, and I'm not on it either, but that's my flag, and this is my country, and this is my garden.
You know what?
No.
Vivian would kick this guy in the head.
Isn't it
An Englishman's
St.
home is his
Andrews?
castle, right?
Yeah.
Is that
Englishman's
the
home
St.
is his
Andrews
castle.
Cross?
Yes.
Is that what it's called, the St. Andrews Cross?
Yes, it's the English
Yeah.
flag. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So, by the way, why don't they start putting an army together on Clarkson's farm? Let Clarkson's farm become the center of the resistance. That would be a great series, don't you think? Jeremy Clarkson takes on the royal family. There's a TV series. We should pitch our Hollywood friends on that, right, Chris?
Oh yes, yeah, that and King Ears. There we go. That's perfect. And this
I'll get my friends at Fremantle on the phone.
Right. Now, this leads me to the next issue, and we're going to bring this back across the pond to this country. The Jackson Hole meetings have happened, and you know what? Hole seems to be the proper word here, especially with this one. Apparently, the parting advice from the leadership there was to accept a lot more migrants to offset democratic collapse. I understand, by the way, thanks to leftist propaganda, the American family is being destroyed, and you see Gen Z and the millennial generation in a reproduction crisis. We're going to have less and less people. But does that mean we have to bring in people from the third world unvetted like the Biden administration did? No. Jackson Hole, you think we need to just bring in a lot more people from the third world? No, that's not going to help the country. It's going to turn the country into something else. We have to maybe encourage young people to raise families again if they can.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So, Mike, do you know what the percentage of the U.S. population the black demographic makes up?
I think it's right around 10.
I think 13, right?
13.
13.
So, do you know what it was 100 years ago?
Probably 20.
No, 13. So, my point is that there's been a concerted effort by the left. I think, didn't they say that Margaret Sanger's one of their heroes? I could swear, isn't your friend Hillary Clinton, didn't she say that? I think she said that, right?
She said Margaret Sanger is one of her heroes, and her mentor, by the way, was Robert Byrd.
Robert Byrd. So why? So I'm just speaking the truth here, and some of my black friends get it. It's like, yeah, we've been suppressed. Yeah, you have by the people you keep supporting. So right. I think it's So. And it's like, who suffers the most by lowered job value? Like, doing things where you have basic paying jobs. Nothing wrong with taking a job that pays you an opening. My son, full disclosure, Ryan works at a car wash in Vegas, and he makes a reasonable wage. But do you know who would take his place if possible and work for cheaper? Illegal aliens. Yeah. So this has happened all across the board. So Bernie Sanders, before he got his third and fourth mansion, used to be honest about this and talk about the fact that illegal aliens devalue a unit of work, that basically they drop the price out of the market and create problems for citizens, to include minorities, to get good paying jobs. Mike, am I saying something sacrilegious here about the reality? I mean, I don't. How is this not highlight?
No, you're exactly right. And so I'm going to take as an example, while we can talk about this kind of in the news, is the crime crackdown here in DC by Trump. A lot of that crime crackdown, they're picking up a lot of illegal aliens who there's quite a culture here in DC. The residents of Washington, D.C. are head over heels in love with Trump right now because of this. It has been fantastic. My wife and I and my son, teenage son, we went down to the Kennedy Center for a free movie screening. They showed Moneyball on the side of a wall. And you can
That's great. I love the Kennedy Center. They're going to really bring that back. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and you could bring a lawn chair. There was hundreds of people out there. It was a reflection of the community. But what was also amazing about that night to me, that was in an area that had been overrun with homelessness. There were homeless encampments just around the corner, and they were all gone. They were gone. The Kennedy Center, the Saudi Arabian embassy is right in front of the Kennedy Center. That's one of our
Right
big
next to it.
allies. There were guys literally around the corner from the Saudi Arabian embassy living under bridges on couches. That's all gone. And at the end of the night, when we went home, we walked to our car, not a worry in the world. And I looked up the street and saw young women walking back in that neighborhood worry-free. There was no menace. The feeling of menace was gone off the streets. And that feeling had been there for decades. And it's really starting to sink in. It's happening in Union Station. It's happening all over the city. And people are waking up to it. And part of it is getting rid of the illegal aliens. And part of it is just getting rid of the crime element that people allowed to happen here and flourish. Before I worked at the White House, I listened to grand jury testimony of the crimes that took place in D.C. for years. The U.S. attorney for D.C. during the Clinton years was none other than Eric Holder. That's when it started in the 90s. They would have 400 to 500 murders a year here in a city where there's only 600,000 people. People were just killing each other, and most of it was in neighborhoods in Southeast. There were Ward 7, Ward 8. Over on the other side, they call it the dirty side, tough place to be a cop. And they would just shoot each other over crack and tennis shoes and whatever. And it was horrific. But the thing was, the way that Holder structured his U.S. Attorney's Office, they let people go. So people would, if they got caught with a gun, they could make a plea deal to something called AWIC, AWIK, assault with intent to kill, and do 7 years in prison. They were 17 or 18. They get out and they're in their mid-20s. And then they go and do it again. And it was the life of a young black man on the streets of D.C. in the 90s and the 2000s, early 2000s, was not worth much. It just wasn't worth much. And the community got that message from Eric Holder, from Bill Clinton, from Joe Biden was in charge of the Judiciary Committee. It was terrible. And so that is starting to be redressed right now by this anti-crime surge that Trump is putting through.
And the left is up in arms.
Well, let me talk about that because let me talk. I just wants to get some other stuff here in a second, but let me kind of add some context. So, Mike, when I first moved to Washington, D.C., the area, I lived in Lorton, Virginia to begin with, down south, but I had to go in frequently. Do you know what was near Lorton, Virginia, right?
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, back in the late 80s?
Yeah, that's right.
It was the D.C. prison. It was a resort.
Right.
So what they would do is like they do these heinous crimes, and then they go to the spa in Lorton, where they would, they had a farm, they had outdoor living, all that stuff. And so Fairfax County put up with it for a long time because it was like an open door. It's like you show up there, it's like, yeah, you can put your time in, and they would have escapes all the time.
Right.
And so it was a corrupt system. And but by the way, because of the corruption being in Anacostia, Southeast, it was always a little bit limited. So you had like the Union Station, you had the mall. They were kind of like, yeah, you don't do stuff. Because I used to be able to go in the late 80s. I'd run, I get done late. I go for a midnight run on the mall during the summer. I love that. Well, you couldn't do that now, but now now you can. I mean, you couldn't do it before Trump. Now you can. Yeah. But I'm just saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Last several years, you couldn't do it. And, like having grown up in this city, the homelessness wasn't as bad as it got under Biden. It got really bad under Biden. They were just sort of laissez-faire, let them do what they need to do, turn the criminals back out on the streets, didn't punish people. Kids they finally had to put in a kids curfew because young kids were going out and carjacking people, killing them for their cars and things like that. And there's just the sort of breakdown in civic minded behavior. It was just like gone. So that's part of what Trump's bringing back. And the thing is, Washington has got filled with good people. There are good people in Washington that are held hostage by this criminal element. And that's who's backing what Trump is doing. And the other side of this is,
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Pardon me. All the people that are now seeing Trump as their sort of their big helper, their big assistant guy, fixing their lives, bringing back crime. These are the people that sit on grand juries. These are the people that sit in DC juries. This is what the Democrats don't understand. This city is flipping so quickly from being Fortress DC to being Washington DT, Washington Donald Trump. That's what it's becoming. And it's going to come back in their face when they start going into these grand juries and they start going into these trials in DC. And the people are like, you know what? We're listening to Trump people. We're not listening to Democrat people. We're not listening to Boulder anymore.
Yeah. So my other son, he just retired he retired this past Friday as a fireman in Arlington, Virginia. You know Arlington right across.
Yeah.
And he's telling me the same thing you are, Mike. Everybody loves this.
Yeah.
Everybody who actually lives there, it's like, oh my God, it's so nice to not have to worry about stepping out of your car and having a gun in your face.
Right.
I mean, yeah, look at this. So the reality is Trump is right again. But I got a question because I know, Chris, we got to go to this other topic. I'll get there in a second because it's related.
All good. This is going well.
My question to you, Mike, is, will this actually have the effect of waking people up to how evil Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, and the liberal Democrat brand really is? Because it's not about helping people.
Right.
It's about creating differences which divide families and individuals and put them in a situation where they get desperate and they get violent. So I think this was perpetrated by the left purposely, and now Trump's kind of fixing it and showing for what a fraud it was. Do you think this will have a net effect of further ending the Democrat hold on politics?
Yeah, I think he goes. First of all, they want to have a lot of strong people here in DC. I think they're doing a national, and when I say strong, I mean strong, a military presence. I think what they're doing is they're actually targeting cartels. Trump is doing a massive cartel targeting operation. And I think this is the grassroots end of it in the communities. And they've got to get the cartel bad guys. Janine Pirro has been arresting drug dealers out of DC like crazy. I mean, she's been announcing some big arrests. The FBI has been announcing some big arrests. And because of that, I think that's part of it. So do they go to Chicago? Yes. That's what they're doing, is they're rolling up where the cartels have infiltrated the culture, the community. And so, they go DC, then they go to Chicago, then they go to New York, and people around the country will start seeing it. The big one is LA. When they can get to LA and they can change the culture in LA, that'll be a huge day. And that's not coming anytime soon, but I think that's in the works.
Well, here's the question.
Yeah, George just said, and we talk about this all the time, Mike, they got to get rid of the deep state, which they are. By the way, so speaking of the deep state, speaking of cartels, there's been some pretty clear indications Trump's going to go after the cartels. So if you want to know kind of what they're going to do, you may want to read my book, The Last Line. We actually forecast what was going to come regarding the southwest border. We actually talked about this, Mike. We talked about this 11 years ago, 12 years ago.
I believe you. Yeah.
And so, by the way, this is all fiction. Just saying. Not that anything happened in the book in real life, maybe. So you want to check it out because we actually outline kind of how we got here, and then the solutions in the book are the solutions they're probably going to do. Just saying. Wow. So if you want to read ahead, spoiler alert: we kill bad guys, a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
That's coming.
A good thing. There we go.
But anyway, speaking of not good things, so one of the things Chris wanted to get to is the flag burning there across at Lafayette Park. They didn't burn Lafayette; they burnt the flag, right, Chris?
Well, here's the idea. That was one of the big ones. And of course, in LA, they were doing the same thing as well, screaming and chanting and relishing and burning the flag. These protesters are a bunch of LARPers who think the 60s were such a neat time, and they have to find something to protest. I get that. Burning the flag is a symbolic gesture, generally, to say, "Oh, I hate America for this," blah blah blah. The question is, after the Trump executive order looking to ban doing such things or banning the American flag. Texas versus Johnson, I believe that was 89, said that that burning the flag, it was a Supreme Court case, burning the flag is a form of symbolic speech, but it was passed by a 5-4 slim margin. Now, this was also reestablished in the U.S. versus Eichmann in 1990, 1 year later. So the question is burning the flag, and believe me, I don't like it. I despise people who do so, and they're showing us who they really are, which might be a good thing. But is it protected speech? On the other side of that sword, gentlemen, is that Donald Trump has a point. If in fact people are getting arrested for burning the gay flag or vandalizing the gay flag, a socialist approved flag, if you will, people get persecuted for that.
Right.
I'm saying persecuted, prosecuted, same thing, to be honest with you at this point. The fact is, so if you can arrest somebody for burning this flag, Trump might be right here. Should we be arresting people for burning the American flag? Because they're going to be inciting riots at this point.
Right. And the one part I've seen about the reporting on Trump's executive order was it has to be accompanied by like hate speech or a demonstration. Like if you burn the flag as a threatening gesture, then that's when you get arrested. There was a video of a guy who burned the flag in Lafayette Square yesterday, and he sort of made it a big protest. And then they arrested him, and he was pretty compliant when they arrested him. He just turned around and put his hands behind his back, and they cuffed him and walked him off. Then what happens to him in the court system, we'll see.
Yeah. So, you can't have open flames in Lafayette Park, period.
Right.
So I think they got him on that, if nothing else.
That's
so I get your point, because I go through, and this is funny. I have a nice 30-foot flagpole in my yard, and I go through because we have a lot of wind here, because with a lot of Democrats blow the wind through here. Just saying, no, that's a joke. But I go through probably 2 flags a year because they get tattered, and the VFW takes them and burns them. So, but it's an honorable way to show that, to dispose of the flag. That would not be considered against the law. But someone who, takes the American flag, does disgusting things with it, and then I think that's what we're talking about, right, Mike? I mean, there's a clear distinction between the two.
If you're at a pro-immigration, pro-migrant rally against ICE, and you throw the flag down on the ground and burn it, then you get arrested. Because it's like hate speech. It's an example of hate speech, which seems like that's why they arrest the people who burn the gay flag. It's hate speech.
So let me ask you a question, because this is an interesting dilemma. So, a lot of politicians wear that little lapel flag. I do it when I'm on the air. You seen those?
Right. Yeah.
Can to wear the lapel pin because they're anti-American, and that's disrespecting the flag? Do you think we could do that?
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, look,
that's a joke.
A lot of Democrats,
but I think it's a good idea. Like,
but a lot of Democrats.
If Adam Schiff is wearing the flag, he's disrespecting it.
Right. It's a virtue signal for him. I'll tell you what. I found the worst, most disrespectful.
Right. It's hate speech. Position. Liberal wears the flag.
I challenged myself to find the worst, most disrespectful display of the American flag anywhere. The most disgusting thing anybody can do with the U.S. flag. Do you know what that is? Wrap it around this creature here.
Oh,
remember Megan Rapinoe?
Whatever
her name is. Yeah. She's the one that stomped on the flag, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Hey, Chris, did you know in Japanese, Roppongi means flatulent person? Did you know that?
That's about right here. Everything that she speaks about is gas. Anyway.
That's right. There you go. That's right.
No, but again, you're right. The whole fire in a crowded theater thing is something you might want to think about. The problem is, I do stand for the First Amendment, and I do understand people do symbolic things, but I also understand there has to be some kind of respect for the American flag in that as well. What you're saying to the rest of the world is, I despise this country and everything it stands for. And fine, do it. Show us who you are, and we'll be glad to let you self-deport. That's fine.
Well, this is the
I'll
dilemma,
give you $50.
This is the dilemma, and I think Mike would agree with me. It's like the left constantly tries to use little hooks to get into erasing speech. They've picked up the novel 1984 and used it as a how-to manual because that's what they do. So my fear always is the moment you have government basically restricting anything. I'm very libertarian at heart. Anytime you have restriction, you have the potential for the left abusing that restriction, right, Mike? I mean, that's my word.
Right, that's
Yeah.
the next level right there. Yes.
Yeah, no, you gotta. I mean, I would never burn a flag. I don't want to be around people who do. I don't particularly care if somebody flies stars and bars, a Confederate flag. I don't see it as a hate symbol.
I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a
I know part of the country.
I don't really want to hang around with people that do, but I don't care if they do. Some people do, and they're fine people. I don't know. There's a lot of people who are Confederate reenactors who are, that's their heritage. So, there's a lot of ways to look at it, and it just got in the woke era, pre-Biden, post-Biden, it just got ramped up into this heightened hysteria that the left really shoved down everybody's throats. And I think this is what we're starting to react back to. Hey, there's one quick thing I want to talk about briefly.
Please go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
So we were talking a bit about the migrants coming across the border, the southern border.
Yeah.
I've gone ahead and looked into what happened in my book, Almost Insurmountable Evil, the way the church coordinated with the Biden-Obama people in 2014 around the unaccompanied minor crisis. It's really started there was a collaboration between the government and cartels. Cartels are involved in drug trafficking and human trafficking. Well, one of the things that came out of it is there was a bishop named to be the head of the Catholic Diocese in San Diego, Bishop McElroy. And now he's the cardinal and the bishop of Washington. He's moved up the ladder. But when he was named Bishop of San Diego was right at this time, 2015. And it appears that he was named directly by Pope Francis, who was working closely with Biden and Obama on numerous things. One of the things they're working on was this Alliance for Prosperity, where all these cartel people were getting money to bring drugs and human trafficking into the United States. San Diego was a big area for it. And so I've written this guy a letter and said, were you involved in human trafficking? Wrote him a letter 2 days ago. He has it now. And so we'll see if he gets back to me and ever answers my questions. But I'm trying to tell people about this guy. Yeah, he has a letter. Is he a guy who was involved? I asked him questions in the letter. Did you personally benefit from cartel human trafficking? Did the Catholic Church personally benefit from cartel human trafficking in San Diego, in your diocese, when you were the bishop down there? So we'll get an answer whether it's yay or nay or not. And the other thing is with this crime surge in DC, this guy is a bishop of DC. He's very anti-Trump. He hasn't said anything. He hasn't said he's anti-Trump and he's pro-migrant. He hasn't said anything about the sweep up of the illegal immigration, and he hasn't said anything about the fact that this crime crackdown is benefiting so many people who live in his diocese. So I asked him, what do you think about it? Are you going to come out and make a statement? So we'll see.
Did you interview the guy, Mike?
I'm trying to. That's sort of, I wrote him a letter saying, hey, I'm asking these questions. Let's get together. We'll see. Well,
I actually interviewed a bishop. I was walking down the street with the bishop, and it was one of those walk and talk interviews. He had to go somewhere. The problem with keeping up with the guy is he kept walking diagonally.
Okay. One more thing. Hey, Tony, one more thing about, so there's this traditional Latin mass restriction in North Carolina, in Charlotte, North Carolina. The bishop there came out and told people who were devout Catholics, they've been doing this sort of conservative mass program. He said, you can't do it here anymore. He's a very liberal bishop. So there's a new movie out about it called Bread, Not Stones. And that is on a website of someone who's
sort of supporting this traditional Latin Mass movement. And these are the people that were investigated by the FBI. I mean, the FBI went and it was looking at these Catholics saying, what's wrong with these people? And what was wrong with them? They wanted to go to a mass and listen to be spoken in Latin. So Regina Magazine, there it is, Regina Magazine, Bread Not Stones. And it's they got a trailer up and they've got a movie out, and it's going to get some real attention.
Well, here's a question about this. Is really what I was thinking. Catholic Mass needs to be in Latin in a lot of countries, including this one, because we have visitors from around Europe, around the world, that can go into a Catholic church, and if they know a little Latin, or like, okay, so they, I mean, nowadays it's a little different, but you can go in and really kind of follow what's going on because it's in the same language. It can be in the same language around the world at least once a day in some areas.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. But the left, and here's something: liberals and the left, they actually legislate against things that intimidate them. If you watch it down the road, guns are scary, so they legislate against guns. The Latin Mass is scary because it excludes people and it intimidates the left because, hey, it's something they don't know when they can't hold over us as being smarter than them. Okay.
Right, yeah.
They fear that. So anything, just watch. They fear the flag symbolism in England. They fear it here.
Mm.
They legislate against these things. Watch what they do. Watch their patterns. Anything that intimidates them, gone. Or they legislate against.
Interesting.
Well,
yes.
Well, it's beyond that. I think, well, beyond that, Chris, but related, and to your point, Mike, tradition is something that the left wants to destroy at the fundamental level. The Presbyterians here are going through all sorts of nonsense. You see these people who are literally gay, LGBTQ, and other things desecrating from the pulpit. What do you call those things? Whatever they have in the front of the church.
Yeah.
Pulpit. Destroying the very fabric of Judo-Christian concepts in society.
Right.
And they make a mockery of the 10 Commandments. I mean, literally on a daily basis. And so I think that's the left's objective, is to basically infect all religions, especially Catholic, because Catholics are very, look at the two most prominent Catholics who were the biggest heathens, Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi. And they both say they're still Catholic, right?
She's Catholic for the wine.
Yeah. Enhanced wine, Chris. Enhanced wine. Use the right word.
Vodka flavor, vodka and wine.
That's right.
That's what her church says.
She just wants a little tip of vodka in her, in everything she does. So, but I think that's the thing, is that there's a fundamental effort. So symbology and the destruction of the actual fabric of society is what they're trying to do. Symbols and all that. It goes, and again, this is like 1984. And for anyone who's a patriot in the chat, if you haven't read 1984, do. It's not an easy read, but it's a good read. And if at a minimum, go watch the movie.
It's a
1984, which is not bad. It's not as good as the book.
No, you can't really capture the whole book in any movie. Oh, I do have a couple of great quotes today from the Patriots. So I want to give you a couple. Okay?
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Beach Camp Blues earlier today said, every time I see the Pringles ad where the mustaches fly about, I think of Bolton. Ruined Pringles for many.
That's a good one.
I like that. That's a great one. I had to throw that one in there. The other one is from Insider myself. It goes, let's all sing Happy Birthday to Trixie to close out the show. What do you think, Tony and Mike?
Sure.
You need to sing it like Fred Schneider.
Really? You want me doing the Fred Schneider voice? Okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't really sing. He toasts. But all right. All right. Let's see if we can pull this off. You want to lead it, Tony?
No, I don't. Go ahead. You gotta do it like Fred Schneider.
Ready?
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Mike.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to
you.
Happy birthday,
dear
Trixie.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Trixie.
Happy birthday. That's right.
Trixie.
So the
Great
problem
day.
is StreamYard doesn't actually allow our voices to sync up because of algorithms. And I do blame Al Gore every day for his lack of rhythm, right?
Al Gore, lack of rhythms. I like it.
That's true.
Rock
That's
a lobster.
It's true.
I'll be like Tom Tucker.
So, Speaking of someone who's been, so we should have a show, Mike, on just the whole scam of global warming that made Al Gore a billionaire. So just saying, I mean, my God.
Oh yeah,
I think we
call
can
me
do
up
that.
for that. I got some good stuff on Mr. Podesta doing some weird stuff in the White House.
Maybe we bring in
Yeah.
Dr. Corsi and Dr. Soon too to talk about all that. So that would be
Well, Podesta does a lot of weird things. Oh, by the way, I don't want to get into this, but I think we should. The Patriots love it. So a lot of friends of mine, even on our side, were skeptical of the Pizzagate thing. So I was in D.C. a few days ago, and one of my more reasonable friends who don't buy into conspiracies pulled me aside. It's like, hey, I think that Pizzagate thing was real. It's like, yeah, it was.
You know,
And you guys missed an opportunity to go after him. He was a pretty senior in Trump world back in the day. He's not
Tony-
low now, but I'm just saying he was an official in Trump world. And it's like,
Tony-
anyway.
I gave this serious thought. I was hoping you'd bring this up one of these days. I didn't want to bring it up out of the blue on you, but I gave this serious thought. I'm Italian. I've ordered from pizzerias for years. You've ordered from pizzerias for years. When I order
right.
when I order a cheese pizza, nobody ever orders a cheese pizza ever. They never say cheese pizza. We just say large pie, large pizza. That's it. If we want extra cheese, we say extra cheese. Nobody ever orders a cheese pizza. Ever. I mean, think about it. And so that's why the liberals are, oh, cheese pizza. That's just pizza. No, it's not. Nobody ever orders a cheese pizza. So when you use that, that's the code. Believe me. I even know why. I don't know why they even didn't figure this one out when they were doing this. They could have used a different code because nobody in their right mind ever orders a cheese pizza. It's just a large pie, large pizza, or that's what it is, or something with, or just say pepperoni pie, pepperoni pizza, scallops
Right.
pizza,
Yeah.
peanut butter and meatballs with tuna fish pizza. But they never say cheese pizza.
I like pepperoni. Just saying.
I like.
Pepperoni mushroom is mine.
Oh, I like.
Yeah.
I had pizza once on Air Force One with Obama.
Wow.
Coming
Was it
back
good?
from Marcus
You didn't have
Vineyard
hot dogs, did you? I
in
hope
the
not.
summer of 2016. I did have hot dogs on Air Force One a couple of times. Once on July 4th, 2003 with Bush. We were flying into Charleston, West Virginia. But yeah, pizza, it was weird. What the story was, we had to leave early. They didn't have time to get the catering on board, so they just ordered a bunch of pizza. So we had pizza on the ride home. It was actually pretty good. The thing about, flying in Air Force One, when you fly and you eat their food, you got to pay for it.
I was going to ask that. Yeah.
Yeah, how much
Yeah.
is that? That's gotta be-
They charge you for it. So, there's certain things you can buy. You can, like, if you eat the peanuts and the pretzels, that doesn't cost anything. Sodas are free. But if you eat their meals, the way they do it is they send Air Force guys out to do shopping. They make meals for everybody on the plane. And then if you order the meal, you get divided in. And the president has to pay too. So everybody pays into the kid, like, they get billed through Air Ops, Air Force One Air Ops, Air Operations.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do they charge for foot massages too, or is that a different airline?
I never got one of those. They had really good candy tables. They had little candy baskets laying around and stuff. But
Well, I
Oh
think
no,
that's
that
for the
foot
windowless
massage, that
fans.
was Epstein's airline. That's a different airline.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
for the
We
windowless
gotta go.
fans for some of the Obama officials for the drive around
yeah.
Washington later on.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we got to go. I got to get my car tune up, and I got a text from the guy that runs Newsmax. And he's going to talk to me. So we'll see what that's about.
We're in trouble now.
good. Tell me
Yeah.
today.
I will. So, all right. Well, good. Hey, Patriots, thanks for being here. Be sure and check out my X thing tomorrow night. Special preview, 8:00 Eastern time. We're going to be previewing what I'm going to be doing on the channel, on my channel, on the project, on the Sentinel Circle. And Chris is going to be helping out as he always does. So
Yeah, and check out my Substack, Midnight.
Oh, yeah,
on the
check
Laptop
it
Community
out.
for updates on whether the Cardinal gets back to me about these questions I've leveled at him.
Yeah. So this isn't the Cardinal of the Kremlin. This isn't about Tom Clancy, right? No.
No. This is Cardinal McElroy.
Colin McElroy.
No,
It sounds like
relation
a character in the Blues Brothers.
to
Cardinal
the
McElroy.
Jetsons. It's the Jetsons. There we go. Elroy, his boy Mick Elroy.
That's right.
That's
His
right.
boy, right.
Meet George Jetson.
You know what,
Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh.
But check out Tony's X page tomorrow night.
Yeah.
It's at T_S_P_O_O_K_Y. There we go. So check it out.
Cool.
Beautiful.
All right, good. Well, thanks for being here, Mike. Mike, Patriots love you. We love you. It's great. We want to have you come back, talk more about your book, Insurmountable Evil.
Yeah.
Especially if you get the cardinal to bite, so to speak.
Yeah.
Not in the waffle way. You know they have waffles to eat, right? They bite them, right? So we don't want to do that.
Right.
And then we want to talk about the climate. Al Gore.
Right.
You know,
we could do that.
putting your savings in a Dropbox, in a lockbox. We're going to put
Tony
Social
wants
Security in a lockbox. Yeah,
Tony wants to do this live from Cracker Barrel.
that's right.
All right. All right, we'll see
With
you guys.
Rapone, with Megan
Great
Rapone.
Patriots.
Oh.
Talking to you guys.
Good seeing you, Mike.
Bye.
Patriots, we'll see you. We'll see you either Monday or tomorrow night, right?
That's right. We'll see you both times, hopefully. And by the way, happy birthday again, Trixie.
Yeah, happy birthday, Trixie. Go out and have a beer for the first time legally.
Yes. First time.